Welcome to a Counterpart Solutions SMAaRTCouncil demonstration. In this video, you'll see a standard end-to-end waste management process offered to councils. More specifically, you will be presented a scenario a customer is expected to face in the real world, and then shown how the system's automation creates a seamless experience for said customer. The process demonstrated in this video is made possible by Counterpart Solutions' SMAaRTCouncil product. This product is a configuration and integration of out-of-the-box Oracle systems based on best practice approach and is designed, architected, and built specifically to cater for council requirements. The end-to-end lifecycle of this process is made up of a customer perspective and a council agent perspective in Oracle's Customer Experience, or CX, Customer Portal, and Backend Dashboard respectively. First, you will see the perspective of the customer when lodging a service request for an additional bin, and when they receive a confirmation message. Secondly, you will see the perspective of a council agent who can intervene at any point in this process, or let the automation run. And finally, you will get an X-ray view of some of the automation that is happening in the background of the system. This is a customer-centric workflow which aims to provide a positive experience for the customer. This is achieved by using the Intelligent Advisor component of CX, the SMAaRTCouncil Property 360-degree view and Customer 360-degree view, and automations. These are the key features I will focus on in the broader scope of this demonstration. So let's get started. To submit a request for an additional bin, I start off in Oracle's Customer Portal and proceed to Rubbish and Recycling via the main page or this drop-down. Next, I will go to Bin Services and then select Add an additional bin. On this first screen, we have a simple knowledge article which provides me, the customer, with all the necessary information I'll need to make an informed decision. For example, here are the rules and prices of different bin types. This information is used by the system to guide me through the interview, as you're about to see. So, all the choices I make along the way will direct me to my desired outcome. We call this Intelligent Advisor. So, if I click on Start and begin the interview, I can search for addresses in the system and work my way through the customizable questionnaires. What you're seeing here is the standard configuration of the SMAaRTCouncil solution. So if you, the council, wanted to capture other specific information, you could add more mandatory or optional fields and apply highly configurable rules to these fields. Moving on, these questions can also be dynamic. So in this case, if the bin is for medical purposes, I can add the required medical certificate. If not, I can progress to the next question. And now I can say the owner is the one applying and click Next. And as you can see here, there are currently no bin services at this property, so I can't request an additional bin because I need to request a new bin first. But if I select a property that has a bin, the system will allow me to proceed to the next step. Now, on this next screen, I can select which additional bin I want to request, and if I say yellow, you can see the cost is pre-populated for a 240 litre bin here. This is the same amount we saw back in the knowledge article. However, for the purpose of this demonstration, if I instead want a red bin, I can click on the red bin to be displayed my options. This is where the SMAaRTCouncil configuration integrates the Intelligent Advisor component of Oracle and the Property 360-degree view to create this seamless customer-centric workflow. So, in this case, I can only exchange to a red 240 litre bin because I already have two red 140 litre bins. This makes sense because when exchanging a red bin, one of the rules in the knowledge article states, exchange your two smaller bins for a 240 litre bin. No upfront fees apply. And as you can see here, we are not being charged. So, What you have just seen here is the form's built-in rules successfully interacting with and adapting to the data stored against the property. And once I submit this form, we will be able to see in real time, from the council agent perspective, these changes being made to the property. I can now tick the exchange to red 240 litres checkbox. Before we move on, and for those who might be asking, why is there no green bin available? Well, it's because the property already has two 240 litre green bins registered to it. So there is no bin to upgrade, and we have reached our maximum number of green bins. So now we can click Next. Now I can read the terms and conditions and agree to them to continue. On this next screen, I can view my previous choices, and I am now prompted to add my details as the property owner, remembering back to when I indicated who was applying for the bin. The interesting thing when looking behind the scenes is that up until this point, I've completed this form anonymously, and yet the system still identifies against the original property which bins exist, don't exist, their history, etc. So it's data that's being either stored in CX or integrated over that helps enable this seamless customer experience. So I'm just going to continue filling out these property owner details and click Next. Finally, I'm presented with a subtotal and a payment gateway. Additionally, the system can be configured to allow the cost to go to a future rate payment or bill the amount at a later stage. Everything you have seen is dependent on the council's requirements and best practice, and can be easily configured in the system. I've now submitted a request for an additional bin via Oracle's CX customer portal. Immediately after submitting the request for a new bin, I will receive an automated email. The email shows me the additional bin I have requested and any important information I might need to know moving forward. For example, how long I might expect this request to take, and what I should do with the bins I'm exchanging. The reason I received an email instead of a text message will have to do with my preferred contact method, which is stored against my profile or my customer 360-degree view in Oracle's CX dashboards. Let's now log into the SMAaRTCouncil CX dashboard from the perspective of the council agent. In this scenario, the agent is a waste admin. This is my homepage where I can navigate dynamically to wherever I need to go. I can also find recent incidents in multiple ways. I can see them on this left pane, search for them in this search bar, or use this menu drop-down. Here is the additional bin request I submitted earlier. And this is what an incident looks like in the CX system. On this left pane, we have the incident reference number, the property address, and the contact information that the customer submitted via the form. In this case, we know it should have been the property owner, and we can check by accessing the property 360-degree view. I can do this via the tab I'm on by clicking these three dots in the property field and selecting Open. This is the property 360-degree view, and I can find the property owner here under associated contacts, which is myself and Mohan. Now, to check the bins registered against this property, I can go to Bins, and here we can see one yellow 240 litre bin, two green 240 litre bins, and one red 240 litre bin. Prior to submitting the additional bin request, there were two red 140 litre bins, which we exchanged for one red 240 litre bin. On this left pane, we can also view any property-specific information. This is just a snapshot of the potential the Property 360-degree view offers to councils. If I now go back into the incident, I can view my customer profile the same way I access the property details. Here we can see my preferred contact method is email. If I were going to change this to phone, I would receive a text message confirmation after future interactions. Under properties, we have all the properties I'm linked to and my relation to them. The address, the property type and number, and the status of the property, which means the solution has the potential to create a history of my property ownership within the Smart Cities Council. Next, under incidents, I can view open, pending, and closed incidents related to me. This is just a snapshot of the potential the Customer 360-degree view offers to councils. If I go back into the incident, here on the Details tab, I can view certain information about the incident, most notably that it is shown as complete here. This means that the third party has completed the work in the field and updated their system, and the integration has brought said information over to CX. Next, I can navigate to the Communication tab to see the message that was automatically sent to the email I supplied. As you might be able to tell, this response is generic and caters to all scenarios that can arise from an additional bin request. However, the system can recognize the choices the customer made when filling out the form in the CX portal and select the most appropriate pre-authored response to send out to cater to these choices. Under Rubbish and Recycling, I can view the choices the council customer made in their form. Under Contact Details, the system can identify if the customer who submitted the form has lodged any previous forms in an incident history. To view the details of any incident, all I need to do is double-click the line of the incident. In Property Details, the council agent has a similar view of the incident history held against the property as opposed to the customer. These two tabs show how the incident is connected to both the property and the customer in the CX system. This is another feature of the property and customer 360-degree views. To wrap up, I initially showed you how the customer submits a service request for an additional bin via Oracle's Customer Experience or CX customer portal. More specifically, how the Intelligent Advisor component leverages highly configurable rules and an interview-like process to translate complex scenarios into dynamic and navigable online forms. Next, in the CX backend dashboard, you saw how the customer and property record is updated to reflect that a service request has been made and is in progress, capturing and storing all the details. And in this scenario specifically, how the property that is linked to this customer record is what drives the additional bin request. So, the data stored against the property is what's interacting with the form's rules to create this dynamic outcome. To complete the end-to-end view, the service request in Oracle CX would then trigger a job to be created in the third-party system via an integration. The contractor would then complete the job in the field, update their system, and the same integration would then update the service request status to completed. If the job is unable to be completed for whatever the reason, this can also be reflected in CX and either communicated back to the council customer or handled manually by a council agent. The original council customer is then notified of the outcome via their preferred method of communication. Thank you for taking the time to watch this SMAARTCouncil demonstration. If you would like to know more about Counterpart Solutions and/or the SMAARTCouncil product, please contact us at info@counterpartsolutions.com and request a demo today.